at the end of the day, if people aren't working, they're not going to have money to spend. So that's what people are worried about. How long will this go on? How long will the everyday worker not be able to go to work and get those paychecks?
You know, many restaurants are trying to survive right now with carryout and with delivery, and we really wanted to see how people were doing. So joining me now is Ron Bartell. He's the owner of Kuzzos Chicken and Waffles on the famous Avenue of Fashion on the city's west side. Hey, Ron.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right. Tell me how you guys are doing.
We're making it. We're making it. You know, we pretty much had to switch business models midstream. You know, you were used to dine-in, liquor sales, and all those things that make the business go. To have to cut those things off in order just to survive. It's been tough. It's been tough. But you know, we're going to keep going as long as people continue to support. As long as we're not putting people at risk health-wise, we'll keep trying to keep going.
I think it's been especially tough for you guys because you closed down in August of 2019 for renovation, and also there's a huge construction project on Livernois. You just opened back up on March 14th. So what has that been like?
It's been rough. It's been rough. It's been rough to see a lot of the businesses in the area close, especially during this time of the year when the anticipation was the weather was breaking, the streetscape had been done. People had made it through the storm just to get hit over the head with this pandemic. It's been rough. It's been rough to watch. You know, people have to shutter doors. For us as a business, it's been rough as well. You know, having to lay off people. You know, people's livelihoods are, you know, a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. And they're having to make those tough decisions, you know, just because it's things that are out of our control, quite frankly. You know, it's just been tough. But, you know, we've been trying to make it. Carryout has been steady. You know, hopefully we get a lifeline from the government some way, shape, form, or fashion that we could bring staff back in as much as possible and keep paychecks coming. But you know, we don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen so far.
Yeah, Ron, how many people did you have to let go?
Oh man, we let go of I think 25 people, around 25. Yeah. So you know that was tough.
And it's hard to be able to say if and when you'll be able to bring them back. So what kind of crew are you working with right now?
Skeleton crew. Skeleton crew. We probably kept around 12, 15 staff members. You know, we're open 7 days a week, 2 shifts. We're running about 6 people per shift. You know, just trying to make it so you know, we could keep doors open and keep paychecks coming from people, quite honestly, at this point.
A limited menu as well?
Yeah, we limited our menu, went straight to carry out call-ins, mobile delivery app. We're thinking about doing some things a little bit different, offering family-style meals, seeing as how families are sitting at home. You know, so yeah, we're just making adjustments as we go. Everything is so fluid.
You know, you talk about you're living this right now, and so many other businesses up and down the stretch of where you are on Livernois are living it as well. And you look at how much you have maybe in reserve to be able to get through a time like this. You're not the only one in this situation. What conversations are you having with other small business owners about what kind of help you may need to have, not only from the city of Detroit, but the federal government?
People are scared. They're worried. For instance, my uncle owns 4 retail stores in the area. And he has to shut doors for each and one of them. He doesn't know if he'll be able to reopen after this. You know, he's an older gentleman, so you know, I'm trying to get him, talk to him about the idea of SBA loans and things of that nature. But you know, people need a lifeline. You know, a lot of these businesses are week to week. To be perfectly honest, they can't go a month, 2 months without some type of revenue stream. You know, rent abatement is a big deal. You know, loan deference is a big deal. Cash influx is a big deal. I mean, anything that you could think of is a big deal for small business to operate because the margins are so small. And when you talk about an area that has already dealt with the streetscape problem, those margins are even more thin. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But, you know, everybody is just hopeful at this point.
So what are we talking in terms of, can you exist and continue on with the way your business is scaled right now for the foreseeable future with your skeleton crew of 12 and being able to do kind of the 2 services?
I think we'll know that this week. Last week was a shock to the system. You know, people were still spending a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, if people aren't working, they're not going to have money to spend. So that's what people are worried about. How long will this go on? How long will the everyday worker not be able to go to work and get those paychecks? Because people need money to spend in order to place food deliveries. So, we'll see. And pockets are going to maybe start getting tight. So, we'll see. But like I said, we're going to keep pushing it as long as we have a staff that wants to work, because at the end of the day, people's health is our priority. We don't want to put anybody in a compromising position for $1. I just would never do that to people. So as long as we have a crew that's comfortable with working and we feel like we can protect them, and the information that we keep receiving from medical officials, from the rest of the hospitality industry, from the state and from the federal government, we'll just keep abiding by those rules as we get them. But sooner or later, we will need a lifeline like everybody else.
Your restaurant is a touchstone for the neighborhood. I know you guys have only been there since 2015, but the having a place in the community and the area around it has grown so much. How would you characterize what this pandemic has done or could do to this area?
It could ravage the area, to be perfectly honest. It could really ravage the area. Like I said, to come off of that, the streetscape, which pretty much put people in the hole as is. A lot of people are playing catch up. To have this come at a time like this time of the year, when the spring is breaking, when dollars should be flowing, when businesses should be popping, freedom of movement, just to have that cut off at the knees, it's disheartening. So we'll see. Right now, all you can do is pray, be optimistic, believe in leadership, and just do what we can in the meantime, between time, to make ends meet.
You have delivery service, and you have it from 3 services?
Yeah, right now we've linked up with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and a new delivery service called Black and Mobile. So we're using those. We also have call-in available, carryout. We're thinking about switching to a curbside service soon. So we'll be linking up with Grubhub pretty soon. And so we're going to link up with every delivery service possible so we could feed as many people as possible, so we could pay as many people as possible.
I mean, you talked about how you had to change an entire business model in about 24 hours. When you finish each day, what runs through your mind, Ron?
Will we make it to the next day? Well, how long will we be able to keep this up? Are we doing the right thing by staying open? Quite frankly, are we putting people at risk? I take that very serious. To see people suffering from a disease that's so, easy to get. You wonder, are you putting people in harm's way? But, we've had these open, honest dialogue and conversations with staff. They want to work. They love what they're doing. They're on the front lines. So we want to be able to continue to support them any way that we can. Like I said, a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. This is the country that we live in. This is our society. So it's a catch-22. Are we more worried about the economy, or are we worried about saving lives? So at some point, we have to have a meeting of minds and figure out a way to move this thing forward where everybody could come out of this thing whole.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing, and we'll be thinking about you, and know that you are serving up comfort food for people at this time when comfort is truly needed. But we wish the best to you, and we'll check in and see how you're continuing to do, Ron.
Thank you. We appreciate all the support, and everybody stay safe.
Find more at onedetroitpbs.org, or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.